In this video, I'm going to talk about mentoring the next generation in Asatru. Coming up. Welcome to Northwoods Kindred. I'm your Gothi Bodbar, and on this channel we discuss all things Asatru Kindred related. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see how we do it in the Northwoods. And also check our link below for some epic Northwoods Kindred swag. The last couple of months, Skogel and I have been mentoring the Kindred, or the collective, on the local Air Force base. They're building a Kindred, and the leader of that Kindred, the Gothi in training, had never even experienced ritual or any kind of formal ceremony prior to us making contact. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that story, and then we're going to go into an actual bloat that he's conducting, which I think is probably only his second bloat ever, which is amazing. Now, we have an Air Force base fairly close to us over in Spokane area, and Skogel and I were on the base for unrelated reasons, and we were sitting in the Thomas Hammer Coffee, and she had mentioned to me that she had seen on one of the groups on Facebook that there was a gentleman on the Air Force base who was trying to get a hold of someone who could help him discover the path a little bit better and help him build his Air Force Kindred. And he was met with all manner of rude, as you would imagine, on a Facebook group, but it's a local group, like it was people in the Spokane area, and it was a harsh group. They were pretty hard on him about, why do you need to do this in the military? Doesn't the military already have established orders? And it was pretty brutal, some of the stuff they were saying. So I just jumped online real quick and I shot him a quick private message, and I was like, hey man, here's my links to my YouTube and whatnot. Check me out if you need to, but I'm on the base right now. So if you want to meet for lunch or whatever, then we can have a conversation and maybe I'll be able to help you. So he responded fairly quickly. I think he was in the gym or whatever when I sent the message, and he responded quickly and caught us just before we left the base. So we met on the lawn of the chapel, and we ended up having over a 2-hour conversation about Asatru, public and private, and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things that he had actually mentioned to me was he was very nervous about public Asatru because of all that he had heard about racism in the community, and his wife happened to be Latino, as well as his children. So he was very, very nervous about going out publicly and meeting people in the Asatru community. So I put him to ease at that, and then we hit it off really well. So I invited him and his wife and his kids and everybody out here to a gathering, and we did a gathering with the Northwoods Kindred where he got to be introduced to it, and he brought a couple of people from his base Kindred as well, and I extended the invite to anybody that he felt comfortable bringing with him, and it was a really good gathering. And that started the friendship and the mentoring program that I was starting to work with Chris and help him build his Kindred, which is now an established Iron Ravens Kindred, which I love that name, the Iron Ravens, because of airplanes, jet planes. Iron Ravens Kindred on the Fairchild Air Force Base, which is pretty amazing. And now something that's a little weird about the Air Force, being that it's a military organization, they need some sort of a structure and some sort of a dogma. They need it. So we're working with the chaplain and with the base commander to get this totally approved and organized, but we're going to have to provide documentation that says this is how you do a bloat, this is how you do these other ceremonies. The chaplains like to have that on hand in case they are required in some form or fashion to lead these rituals or to help someone else do it, because ultimately their goal is not to push God on people, it is to serve the religious needs of the people of the base. So in that respect, we actually have to create this dogmatic system that can be transferred and handed down. And any of you that were in the military can understand that when you do a turnover, no matter what your post, whether you're an instructor at a school or the leader of a platoon, or you just have a particular role in a maintenance shop, whatever your role is, when you leave, somebody is coming in to replace you and you have to do a turnover. So we're building a turnover binder that kind of puts some dogma on the path as far as ritual is concerned, but it's clearly just so that we can get the next generation spun up fairly quickly as the transition happens. And then Chris will go forth to his next duty station and create kindreds there as well. So it's really has the potential to have a really great snowball effect if we do it right and we record things correctly and we create a system that can be taught and then modified or personalized as they get a little bit more awareness with it. What that did was it prompted me to create a flyer. So I built this flyer that you are free to download. I will put the link below, and you can go to my website and you can download it for free. And this is just the Rituals of Asatru Blot. And it's a very simple outline, a little bit of an introduction about what a bloat is, some of the tools you'll need, and you can modify them or whatever. Our videos on this channel will help you understand this a little bit better if you watch one of our bloat videos and then go down this list, and you'll see what is dogmatic and what is not. Understand that I'm not trying to create dogma in the religion, but it's necessary for military turnover and military handover. So that's kind of where we're at. But I thought that if you're not really familiar with ritual at all, this is a great pocket reference that you can go design your own rituals. You can write all over it. You can pen it up. You can remove steps, change the order, do whatever appeals to you. But it's a great way to just get started in ritual by yourself or with a small group or with your kindred, and just learn until you get all these steps and all these moving parts clear enough to where you can start improvising and going off the cuff. So it has the steps: hallowing, invitation, offering, blessing, the meanie round, other work that goes on, and it's just a brief explanation of other types of work that can go on, whether it be a funeral or a wedding or a swearing of oaths or whatever, gifting even, and then the closing of the ritual. And that's pretty much it, really nuts and bolts. But go download this for free and then read it while watching some of our videos, and you'll see the patterns and you'll see what we do every time and what's modifiable for each time. This is based on the work that I'm doing right now with the Iron Ravens Kindred. So it's yours for free. Go download it. With all of that said, check out this video of Chris's second bloat ever, right here in our bay. It's really a point to get connected so that we don't have to get connected when we're in the bay. We got connected on the way there. And that's what that drumming is for, is just kind of get everybody's heartbeat at the same rhythm, and then just kind of connect everything, and then head into ritual, right?
Guardian forces of the north, come forth. Form a shield wall and protect the sacred bay. Guardian forces of the south, form a shield wall and protect the sacred bay.
Guardian forces of the west, come forth. Form a shield wall and protect the sacred bay.
So, I ask that you come join us today as we bloat to you, in honor to you, known by so many names: Everglow, the Bright One, your father named you, and your brother, based off of the beauty of the both of you. And unfortunately, it came with a job to forever outrun Skull until the days of Ragnarok. I hope that you take some time, burning through all the ash in the air and some of the cloud coverage as well, to recognize the Iron Ravens as we honor you with me. Hail Soul.
Hail Soul.
Hail. So we ask that you bless this offering so that we may continue on with the endurance and the perseverance that you show each day. The endurance, soul. Thank you.
Soul, Sister Tamani, daughter of Mundutfari, the young goddess who drives the chariot across the sky, who orders the days and the nights, who orders the seasons. We start seeing less and less of you this time of the year. We notice that the nights get longer and the days get shorter as you run faster and faster through the sky before you're overtaken in the winter. We notice this and we miss you. We thank you for the light and the love that you give us every day, and we think of you in the dark of the winter nights. Hail.
Give you the light, soul.
Soul, I know you as Suna. Man, I'm always telling everybody to enjoy your sunshine.
Yes. Soul, I too know you as Suna. I don't often look to the stars, but I do often raise my face to the sun. Hail Soul, thank you for the sun.
Hail Soul.
Soul, thank you for your reliability. It wasn't until I started really diving into it and reading about it that I understand about how something that is just so continuously constant in our lives can be taken for granted so easily as the sun rising and falling each day, and knowing that it's going to come back up the next one. Knowing that you're forever playing chase with a giant, terrifying wolf skull in the sky, and that somehow you've still managed to look at it as just a game. How far can we go? Kind of puts a lot of problems into perspective for myself. And thank you for that kind of unspoken advice. So, Hail Soul.
Hail Soul.
Soul, we ask that before we see you all, hopefully stick around for a little bit as we feast and talk and learn and craft runes and become closer as a kindred. We know that you'll still be there while we are doing all of our events, but if you would like to hang around and just pay a little bit closer of an eye, you're more than welcome to stay, and please leave whenever you feel free. That on your way back, if you can notice any other supernatural creatures or any of the other old gods or goddesses along the way, please let them know that there's definitely still kindreds here that honor the old ways, the old gods here in Midgard. That concludes this blow.
Now, when you watched that video, you've seen they had their own boli, and some of the other tools were their own, and then they used some of ours. They used our horn, they used our hammer, those kind of things. But they do have a suitable replacement for when they're doing their own rituals on the base, and I know that they have that stuff because I gave it to them. I put together a ritual kit, not unlike in some of the parts actually from our previous video about how to build a budget ritual kit. So I put together a nice ritual kit for the base to be kept there and passed on as they go through their DRGLs, their designated religious group leaders. And then they can just keep that kit moving. So we gave them that as a gift from the Northwoods Kindred. So if you want to help support that sort of thing, and we're going to continue to do that for other military kindreds as we meet and mentor other kindreds, if you want to help support that, then pop over to our Teespring and pick up some Northwoods Kindred shirts and swags, because we got some really cool designs going on over there. So one of the questions I get all the time is, how do I become a Gothi? How do I learn? Where is this information? The information is in, find people that you align with, that you have the same morals and standards and ethics with, and then learn from those Gothis, or those that have been around for a while. None of us are so unique that we can't find somebody that we align with. There are people around. Jump on the groups, jump online, meet these people. For lack of any other kind of a mentorship, you're absolutely welcome to get a hold of me. You can send me an email at northwoodskndr@gmail.com. You can jump on our Discord server. Link is in our link tree, and you can communicate with us, and I'll absolutely help you as much as I possibly can. But that's no good substitute for actually having a mentor and somebody that you can sit and have these long conversations with and talk about methods and techniques and rituals. But I understand that you don't always have that available to you, so let me fill that in for you if you need that in the meantime, until you can find someone that you actually align with, socially, ethically, morally, that you could call your mentor. They're there. You just have to work for it. Share this video with someone you value. Don't forget to download your flyer. May you recognize opportunity even in the most unusual of places. Dorvigi, my friends.